Salam, shalom, everybody here. Daniel, One Love Caravan, and yeah, I show you today a tune, a song, music, yes, with subtitles, and it's from the Midnight Band, yeah, lyrics from Juan Benjamin, and will be with subtitles in Portuguese, because I could not find now the English one, but also, yeah, he's singing in English, so we can understand. And the ones who speak Portuguese, they can read it. So very good. So give this from the YouTube a video, yeah, and give thanks to all these people who put these videos, you know, because very important. So give thanks for Logo Rasta, because this now again people from Brazil probably, and who make the effort to put these videos and to put the subtitles in Portuguese, and yeah, it's very important to spread the message. Yeah, so give thanks to everyone who put these videos, like Rascalef also, like give thanks. Yes, so I'm gonna put the camera here that you can that you're able to read and to see what's been said here. So enjoy.
Whoa. If a guy want to know where them come from, tell him consult Revelation. Which part them come from creation? Which part them come from creation? Whoa. I'm on purpose to write from my heart all a tune say Vatican. What them are in there? What kind of big dirty secret they hide where? What kind of big dirty secret them hide where? Them all a hit up a Catholic white lie to them robbery and them pay them. Hold on. Every Scarface wanna be movie imitator mafia also done man. After them kill man and kiss ring, the same boy gone straight to confession, confessing to the same kind of man. And so him forgive and call it indiscretion. Call it indiscretion. See, hold on, again y'all. 1 year we gone, them here say murder in the Vatican. Whoa, Lord, soldier pass over in a line for promotion. We make the holy man, the Pope, we make him need so much protection. We make the Pope have such a gunman congregation. What a curious question. To every Scarface, wanna be movie imitator, mafioso, damn man. After them kill man and kiss ring, the same boy gone straight to confession, confessing to the same kind of man. So him forgive and call it indiscretion. Where them come from? Jerusalem backwater. Where them come from? Jerusalem backwater. The only thing that creates any focus is a serious interest. So them focus them grand larceny from the African world treasure chest. Where them come from? Jerusalem backwater. Where them come from? Jerusalem backwater. Behind the dying son of Amanda. Hold on. Jah, every Scarface wanna be movie imitator mafioso that man. After them kill man and kiss ring, the same boy gone straight to confession. What them are in there? Vatican. What them are in there? What big dirty secret they hide where? Oh Lord, again now, where them come from? Jerusalem backwater. Where them come from? Jerusalem backwater. Hey, every Scarface wanna be movie imitator mafioso that man. Every Scarface wanna be movie imitator mafioso that man. After them kill man and kiss ring, the same boy gone straight to confession, confessing to the same kind of man. And so him forgive and it call it indiscretion. Every Scarface, where them come from? Every Scarface, wanna be movie imitator, mafioso, that man. Every Scarface, where them come from? Jerusalem backwater, where them come from? Jerusalem backwater, where them come from? Every Scarface, every Scarface, every Scarface, wanna be.
Yes, I. So that was the tune. Let me just put this down, the volume. All right. So here we go. We have seen the tune Scarface. It's called Scarface. Scarface, and as you heard, it's talking about every Scarface wannabe movie imitator, mafioso, gunman, right? And it's referring to the movie, the Hollywood movie with Al Pacino, right? Isn't it Al Pacino? I think so. Al Pacino, who is Scarface, and he's like the Cuban immigrant in I think Miami. I didn't really see the movie, right? I never see the movie. In fact, it's true. I only heard about it a lot. There was a time they showed on MTV, you know, MTV Cribs or something like that. It was from all these American rappers, mostly again Afro-American rappers who would everyone would like obligatory, you know, would have the Scarface movie there, you know, like everyone would have the Scarface movie in his mansion, right? So the Scarface movie is like in the mafia world, like again it is like it's Scarface is like an idol for the mafia, right? So what kind of mafia we are talking about now? We're talking about the mafia of the devil, right? Isn't it? Because again, there is the real mafia, again, the original mafia, familia, huh? Familia, the real family, the real mafia. It's something good, huh? It's the real mafia. It's the family, right? Who is protecting, organizing, as a family, and this is the origin of the mafia, right? So you have the King of Kings as the highest entity of the real mafia, isn't it? So, but then this guy, again, as they steal, they steal everything, they stole this concept, right? So the church now, the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church now, the Romans, they stole African tradition, the tradition of the Christ, right? And they put then the Pope, right? The Pope in the Vatican, and the Pope now is the head of this organization, right, of the Roman Catholic Church, officially. But we know there is other people and organizations also behind. But the Pope now, again, it's like the mafia, the boss, the mafia boss of this, again, the mafia of the devil, right? And all this kind of again all these movies, you know, these mafia movies like the Godfather, and again Scarface, and etc. I mean, you have the whole programming, you know, like every Scarface wannabe movie imitator mafioso gunman. I think everyone who grew up in Babylon, right? Like myself, I grew up in Switzerland. We all were, everyone, even the girls, everyone was a wannabe movie imitator, mafioso, gunman, because they showed us this in school, right? So they showed us these movies. This was the education there. So they want to really, they make it hip, right? So then with gangster rap later on, like everyone wants to be, you know, so you can study that and yeah, where it's coming from. So I can tell you that even this goes through generations, yeah? Generations, as soon as they put these movies, yeah, Hollywood movies, suddenly this getting viral, yeah, and it's getting a lifestyle to be a gangster, isn't it? Yeah, because before it would be something that you don't want to be, yeah, you don't. Before that, before these Hollywood movies, yeah, people they don't want it to be associated with the devil, right? The people would not want to be associated with the devil. They wanted to be associated with God, right? So the idol again, the idol for the people was some a positive figure, right? So again, you have, for example, you have for the children, traditionally, you have the stories for the children, and then you have the hero, the hero of the story. It's the good one. Again, like Popeye, and we will other day talk about Popeye and about this, because one Benjamin also singing about Popeye, right? So again. We should follow the good. We should idolize the good. So we should follow all the good example, so that we also be a good example for the children, right? And that the good tradition, the tradition of doing good and helping each other, and this goes on through the generations. Now with this programming, they would for sure tune the people to the bad. So again, even my father here, again, I already told this, my father was into drug trafficking and all these things, you know. And yeah, why? Because again, because of the programming. You must know even my name now. My name, Daniel, yeah? There is a little story I will tell you now. My father, when he was very young in Portugal, he had to do the military service, right? So he was in the Marines there, so he had to go to Lisbon and do the military service. So at the weekend he would go, there is a very famous neighborhood where all the bars are, and nowadays are the, you know, the people go to take a drink there, yes, it's called Bairro Alto, right? But at the time in the 70s, in the 1970s, yeah, there was, like, it was the red light district, right? So there was hookers and all these things. And as my father was walking through the streets there as a 18 years old, you know, young Marine, or how this called, you know, a sailor man, actually was a sailor man, yeah, right? A sailor man. So he would walk there and he would meet a man. He would meet a man there who was a bouncer, who also was a discotheque owner, and he also was a drug trafficker, and he also was a pimp. Yeah, like he had hookers. He had, and his name was Daniel, right? His name was Daniel, and he was a strong, handsome, big guy. And so he saw my father, he saw there is something with my father, some kind of spirit, and he asked my father if if you want to work together. And so my father started to work for him. He started to sell hashish there in Lisbon, you know, and yeah, he was like a mentor of my father, right? And he was, it was the times of the Tony do Capri, you know, like it was the time, you know, it was full of hookers. It was Lisbon. It's, you know, we have the docks there, the docks, and all the sailors, the sailormen. They would come there from all over the place, and they would go in this red light district. Like you have, that's why you have Amsterdam and the red light district. Everywhere you have the ports, yeah, and the sailormen coming. You know, many months on sea, so they go to the hookers, and they take the drinking, they take the drugs. It's a whole kind of yeah, you can imagine that scenario, you know. And my father there with this Daniel figure, you know, being taught to be yeah, be a Scarface wannabe movie imitator mafioso gunman again. So that this individual Daniel, in fact, he got shot with 7 gunshots. And this was in Lisbon. Lisbon has 7 hills. It goes deep. But anyhow, in Lisbon, yeah, this was in the newspapers. It was a big deal because he was a big a mafia boss there. Yeah. So. Maybe people still remember this individual. Maybe still people also remember myself or remember my father, you know. Greetings to my father, also my earthly father here. And anyhow, this is a serious thing because you see, my father was well influenced by that, and he would all his life he would imitate that lifestyle, you know, and this brought him to not so good situations, yeah, because yeah, you follow, you know, if you deal with the devil, you will not change the devil will change you, that's for sure. And yeah, even my cousin, yeah, it goes, because you know, it goes to all social levels, because again, my father would come from Portugal as he did not have you know, money when he grew up. They were like, you know, like you would grow up in Portugal in the 50s, you know, it was different. But my family in Switzerland, you know, with the money. So I remember my cousin in Switzerland. He would be the biggest fan of James Bond. Actually, the whole family, you know. And they were very elitist and very, my aunt, you know, very elitist, private schools. They had to go to private schools and only Gucci and Armani and everything from the most fancy, yeah, real. And even my cousin, I remember, he was so young. He was maybe 16 years old or something like that in Switzerland. But he would dress up like James Bond. Yes, and again, James Bond, where is this coming from? James Bond is coming from John Dee, actually. John Dee. Yeah, you have to check out John Dee and Kelly, these people, yeah? Like, this is witchcraft, right? So anyhow, James Bond now, a gunman, again, always the gunman, always drinking martini, and always with the girls, and actually it's a very bad example, right? It's a killer who's working for the English crown, isn't it? So anyhow, James Bond now was so strong influence for my cousin that he would dress up like him. He would go with the suit, with this tuxedos, and with this with 16 years old, and he would go into a gun shop, yeah, in a gun shop, and he would just buy a gun in Switzerland, like with 16 years old, and he would buy the gun because they would not ask even for identification at the time, yeah. You must know the Swiss, you have to do the military there. Everyone has like a machine gun at home, right? So this is like, everyone is a gunman, everyone is a movie imitator gunman in Switzerland. because what they feed you Hollywood movies, right? So anyhow, even my cousin, huh, who was like he would weight like 50 kilos, you know, he was like it was like, you know, yeah, he would go and buy a gun. He would buy the gun from James Bond for sure. He would, I think it was a Walter Pepe or Walter, you know, some I don't I don't remember exactly the Pepe PPK or Walter PP, whatever. I don't know, but I remember the gun because I had it in my hand. You know, when I was a child, and we have to think about that. It's very dangerous. Yeah, because I know stories in Switzerland who children who discovered the gun at home and they shoot their own parents. Yeah, in our city. Anyhow, many people got shot. You know, in Switzerland, just because someone has a gun and you know. And he's crazy in the head, you know. And I remember my cousin, he would have this gun at home in his room, yeah. And we were children. He would play in this room with toys, and he would show. I was very proud of this gun, and he gave it to me, and I was like, wow. And I would want to pull the trigger, and it was too hard even. I remember I was too small to pull the trigger. It has not the bullets inside, but he had bullets for it. So check these things out. He would go into the church. I remember, because I'm not baptized there in the church, but I would have, how does it called? In the school, I would have the religion as for the Protestant. For the Protestant, you know, as I would be a Protestant, but I'm not baptized. I was not in the church. Yeah, my mother, she used to go to church sometimes. So I also went with my mother sometimes to the church, right? And my older brother, he made this it's called confirmation, or yeah, the confirmation. Like you make these rituals in the church, you know. And he did this. I didn't do this, but he did this, and I remember this was, then they make it ecumenic. So that means they put the Catholic and the Protestant, they put it together. Okay, they like to do this in Switzerland a lot. Okay, just let me put this away. In Switzerland, they used to do this a lot. They used to do ecumenic. Gottesdienst, yeah, ecumenic. So they put everything together, the Protestant and the Catholic. So there was this confirmation in the Catholic Church, in this church from Cham. I showed you already this church, this very special church, and there inside, I remember my cousin. He would go dress up like it was the confirmation of my brother. So my whole family was there. So my cousin would go with the gun, you know, in the holster there inside, hidden, with the dress, with Gucci and all these things. And then later on he bought a Lotus, a car, the same car that James Bond had, you know. So my father was a movie imitator gunman, you know. And my cousin was a movie imitator gunman, and everyone, myself, everyone, because that's what you play. You buy a toy gun. We would have these BB guns, it's called, yeah, BB guns. As we get influenced again by my cousin, and my cousin got influenced by his parents, because you know, and that's how it goes. So we get influenced by that, and we would buy these BB guns with these small plastic bullets. But the gun we bought in the gun shop, yes, and the gun shop was they would sell serious guns, yeah, and they buy these imitations, these BB guns, but they look exactly the same. They have the same weight, and they have exactly the same. It's just with this plastic bullets, yeah. And we would use, because influenced, or because of the the video games. I was never a video game player, but all my friends actually, and my cousin very much. And these shooters, you know, again they would have James Bond. He would have James Bond on the Nintendo, right? And we would shooter, and we would play this, and yes, then we would imitate this. We would make a war, you know, there in the garden. We would put these ski glasses as protection and gloves and shoot each other. So here we go. This is just to understand that yes, we have to follow the good examples, right? So good over evil. And anyhow, if it goes to he like again, Juan Benjamin's speaking about that. If it goes to who is really bad, like this Michael Jackson, like who's bad, you know, who's bad? So who's really bad, you know? Because again, the mafioso gunman, he kills the man, and then he go and he gonna make confession, yeah, because it doesn't feel good, you know. But then he's confessing to the same man and all these things, you know. But karma is real. You cannot kill people. You cannot do bad. If you do bad, it goes back to you, right? So we have to follow the good example. So we know this whole thing they put in our mind, yeah, to be strong and bad, you know. It's not the Batman who is the strong, yeah. It's the Jaman, you know, because it's even again the example is, for example, David. What is about David against Goliath again, and how many thousands David killed in battle, and how these warriors, the warriors who always they fought with the Ark of the Covenant, right? Which is the presence of God, the faith. You have to have the faith. So, and then you defend the good. And if you defend the good, you defend the truth, you defend the health, you defend life, right? You defend your children. So then you will win always, right? And that's why these warriors, they killed alone thousands in a battle. And then again, we got influenced by these martial arts movies. You know, I do martial arts, and I see these martial arts movies, and it looks like one guy, it's coming, and he's killing thousands, you know, and it looks like it's only a movie. Yeah, but again, real life and movie doesn't separate, you know, really, because again, that's real. That's real. Yeah, so it's described in the Bible, you know. Also, how many people once killed, you know, Samson, for example, only with a whip, you know, and this kind of things, yeah. So, and you can believe it, yeah, because you see martial arts and you can see what a real martial artist can do, like break things, or you know, it's because you are dealing with. It's the spirit world, you know, and you're dealing with key life force, and you're dealing with angels and all this kind of stuff. So again, thank you very much for watching. This is Daniel, One Love Caravan, and soon more stories about history and technology and straightforward. Yes, I. Thanks, and see you soon.